Welcome to this video where we are going to be playing Transport Fever 2. Now, before we get started, I want to emphasize this is not the first part in a new series. The reason I'm making this video, well, there's several reasons really. We'll start with the first one, is the fact at the moment in the UK we're having a lot of storms and I can't get out and about and do a couple of things I want. So I'm kind of sat here for once and with nothing to do. So I thought, well, I'll just take a look at Transport Fever 2 in preparation of making a series. Then it occurred to me when I actually loaded the game up that I haven't actually played this for about 18 months. So I feel that I need to get my finger memory back in because there's a lot of key selection in this game. And then the third one is that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a campaign just to get my mind back into the game. And I'm also going to put a couple of suggestions out there as I play the game because I'm very interested to see what kind of series you guys would like. Because, well, just to give you an outline, I could play through all the campaigns. I've already done them once before. And I know I did get a comment from somebody saying that there was one to do with the Ceausescu campaign where they said they were unable to complete it. So if you want me to play the campaigns or just focus on one or two of the more difficult ones, feel free to chuck it in the comments. The other one is that do you want something that's just like quite light-hearted and not intense, or you're looking for something that's a little bit more difficult? And of course I'm actually in the deluxe edition, so there's also these 3 new maps which I haven't looked at yet. So I mean, do you want to see me playing one of those 3 maps? Now, before I go into selecting what campaign we're going to be playing, I just want to talk about one thing which may cause some confusion. If I go to settings and go to keyboard, there the actual building rotate key in the default I think is M and N. Actually I need to change this one here. We need to press Shift R for the position. Didn't change that one. And yeah, the building rotate positioning keys is M and N, which I don't feel particularly comfortable with. So what I've done is I've changed them to RT because most building games tend to have use R for rotate. So we're just going to shift that to there. Now the next thing I want to talk about is that with the campaign that there's quite a lot of voicing in, and what I'll do is when they're actually talking, I will keep quiet so you guys can listen to the commentary. But if it gets too much, I'll just try and edit some of it out. So we're going to play a campaign. We'll just go and click in here, and we're going to get a voice.
Mankind is constantly creating amazing new inventions. Get involved in rapid technological progress and ensure smoothly running transportation in different regions of the world.
Now, the campaigns are actually tutorials, and they're split into 3 groups of progressive difficulty. We're going to play the campaign 1. So we'll just click on here, go to select.
It's the dawning of the 20th century.
I don't want to close that one.
America, in the midst of the 19th century. In the Nevada territory, where until recently only a handful of buffalo grazed, nowadays it's all hustle and bustle. Beyond the Sierra and near the Carson River, gold has been found. There's supposed to be loads of it. All you need to do is dig it up. Anyone who keeps at it hard enough will be richly rewarded. What a splendid opportunity.
So there we are. So I think we'll do Mining Miracle. This is the most basic of all the tutorials, and it'll just be a bit of fun to get back into it. Now, if you look on the right-hand side here, you'll see that because I've already done all these missions about 2 years ago, you can see I've actually got all the bonus tasks. I'll be quite interested to see whether we can redo those again. You can see there's 3 of them: Ponderosa Ranch, Enjoy a Ride, and Monstrous Beast, I think it's called. And what you see is if you go down here, you got the and you can see there's in chapter 1 there's this whole series of missions in different parts of the world. As I said, if you want to see me play through these, feel free to chuck it in the comments. I think that's about it. The other thing I will say before I click start, and what I'm going to do is just skip the intro. So I'll see you once we get onto the map.
Thanks to cleverness and luck at cards, you have a gold mine all your own. The former owner, a gal at the saloon by the name of Susie, who plays a lousy hand of poker, already took care of the groundwork. And a practical woman, she left the necessary equipment behind too. Now all you have to do is to find the mine. Get an overview and find out where the riches lie.
Yeah, it can be a bit difficult competing with the voiceover. What you got to do effectively is just come in here. I think you just got to find the gold mine. The zoom in camera, 500 meters. This is just teaching the camera movement tools here. Rotate the camera. One thing about this game, and if any of you follow the channel, you know that I'm a little bit, I get a bit nervous and flick around a lot. The general scroll controls on this game can be a little bit tetchy, and something that can actually cause a problem is just keep zooming in and out. So I can get rid of this. That's it.
Discover the entrance to the tunnel.
Yep, it's over there. We'll go there in a minute. Yeah, and so just to show you what I've actually done, if we click on settings again, if I go into mouse, what I've done is I've turned everything off. I've put the wheel sensitivity to minimum, and I've inverted the rotation keys because it's there. And all I've got active on the mouse is zoom to cursor, zoom out from cursor. And what that actually means is that if I put the cursor over there and just zoom in, you'll see it actually will come in here. It says find the mine, but of course we've got to click on the mine to actually find it.
What a promising claim. Even though only a few boulders have been mined so far, that's no reason to lose heart. You'll just have to dig deeper. You ought to get hold of some solid timber from the nearby forest so that the fine shaft doesn't cave in. The beams will be excellent for stabilizing the tunnel. The station where the horse carts can be packed with logs.
There we are. So what we've got to do is build a station with this little symbol here because it's just showing us where we got to build. And this is where I've got to start thinking because yeah, we're okay. Now, unlike workers and resources, this game auto snaps to buildings and things like that, and you can just go in there. And of course, everything also auto builds.
Sort of thick-skulled driver, which route he should take.
Right now, I've got to remember how to set up a line. And as I say, it's over 18 months since I've played this game, so. Right, new line, and you click here and come into
There's got to be a small depot to park the horse-drawn carts too.
horse-drawn carts. Okay. Now I know I talk a lot about this in Workers and Resources about renaming things. In Transport Fever 2, you've really got to rename your lines because. If you don't, let's just call it the lumber line just to keep it simple. Because if you don't rename them in this game, you eventually end up with lots of different colors, and trying to keep track of what's going on is very difficult. Anyway, so what we got to do is come into here. We've got to build a depot. You can see it's connected. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you see it, sometimes you'll see very narrow little blue lines. Those are footpaths. So when you're connected, you've got to make sure that you get the connection to the border.
Everything's all set. Now all you have to do is to get hold of a cart to transport the wood.
So what we've got to do is go in here. I mean, it's this general principle. We can buy vehicles here, and you can sort here. So we just, how many carts do we got to buy? We just got to buy one. And what you do is you select there, and then you've got quantity down here, and you've got buy here.
A sturdy vehicle.
Oh, we only had to buy one. That's okay.
Get started.
Now, to assign it to the line, what you've got to do is you've got road vehicle 1. You've got to click on the vehicle. If you click on name it, if say you've got multiple vehicles here, if you click on name, it selects everything. Then you've got this kind of arrow here. I mean, intuitively, you look at the lumber line there, but what you've got to do is come in here, and it will list the lines that you can assign to. And this is where not renaming can get you into trouble. If you've got lots of colors and it says line 1, line 2, line 3, you can get lost very quickly. And of course, unlike Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic, if we speed the game up, the wagon comes out automatically, so you don't have a starting flag to do things. And what you see is the guy will come in here. And what you'll see if we come up to the lumber line here, you can see this has got 15 logs in it because it's coming from this lumber camp here. Because this is another characteristic of Transport Fever 2 is that you never go directly to the factory. You've always got to use depots as pickup points. And then what we got down here is a drop-off point. The truck stop here. And if you see the white highlighting, this indicates the range of the depot. So when you're placing depots or storage, You've got to make sure they're in range of where you actually want to drop off from. So we'll just come into here. And he comes in.
Ha! Not everything that glitters is gold. Maybe your poker partner was sharper than you thought.
Okay, we're just going to skip through that. Now we got the station, is it building here? We got to make sure we get the right one. We've got a cargo terminus here. Now what you will see is on the bottom right here is the number of tracks and length of tracks. Because we've got to change this to 120. And this is where the keys come in. Because we need to line this up here. That actually lined up. Yeah, it's the track is lined up.
The terrain is treacherous, fires a few very twisted curves.
Okay, so it looks like we've got to connect things up. Tracks here. And what we've got to do is, I think, now again, unlike Workers and Resources, this game auto builds tunnels and bridges. Okay, what happened there? Didn't I connect it up properly? Set there. And the other thing also, I don't know if you guys noticed it, if we come here, see the numbers on the bridge? That's the speed of the vehicles that can be on the bridge. When you're laying track, especially across uneven terrain, sometimes the direct route is not actually the best route. It's probably the best way to describe it. And what we got to do now is create a line from Virginia City to Carson City over here.
A respectable railroad calls for a proper railroad yard.
Okay, buildings. This game's just gonna look the wrong way. I got a feeling that okay, we can drop you in there.
A truly well done structure.
And of course, what we need to do.
Needs to be connected.
Yes, thank you, game. You can see the difference in speed. The main track's 120. This is 46 and 45.
It's high time to buy a beautiful locomotive together with a few freight cars.
Yep. So we're going to buy a vehicle. We need to buy a locomotive. Now, when you now, if I remember correctly, you've got to build the train. Oops, don't want that. Cancel that. We want the train, not the. And then we want the freight cars. I think these sort this out. How many freight cars? We've got to build 3 freight cars, or buy 3 freight cars. You go 1, 2, 3. And this is where you can get caught out because you've got to build the train first before you buy it. Don't click on that and say, well, I want 3 of these to add to that, because what happens is all it will do is you will buy 3 freight cars. So buy the train.
What a handsome iron horse.
Okay.
Time to send it on its maiden journey.
Then of course what we do is come here. The game does have the intelligence to sort out the difference between railway lines and road lines and airlines and everything else there. Okay.
With a little luck, it'll make you richer than all the silver in Nevada ever.
We got to deliver silver ore. What speed are we on? We're on max speed. And what you'll see is that we've got 5 silver ore on it. Now there is a way that you can follow it. One thing I do like about this game is the actual graphics are quite spectacular. What you also will see is little wagons running around like this. These are nothing to do with your own transport system. These are just residents doing their own thing.
Yes, the deed is done.
Okay.
The first train is rolling down the line. People are dropping everything to cheer your marvel of engineering.
There's fabulous
Don't
fun.
pass up the chance to climb aboard and give them a friendly wave.
Now this is the bonus task, so if you accept that.
Let's have a big round of applause.
Wait, where's the train gone? Got to find the train. Where are you? The train's moving quite quickly. Where are you? There you are. And it's a little camera just there.
Hooray! There's no end to the rejoicing.
I must admit that
All thanks
the
to
graphics and that are pretty spectacular in this game. I must admit, I do like these. And you can see down the bottom right hand corner, you can see we're doing 40 kilometers an hour because that's probably the maximum speed of the train. Anyway, let's just get out here. Okay. You can see, we've actually been able to complete the bonus task again, so we don't need to reset them. That's pretty good. I don't know how long we've got to go before we can deliver the. We can just get here. Maybe it's just one load, or whether there's a. Can't remember now.
Thanks to your railroad, silver smelting is moving fast and furious. Meanwhile, all sorts of fine ladies and high-class gents get off in Carson City. Make sure they don't ruin their good shoes on the muddy streets. Find out about the needs of your future passengers.
Right, I think the overlays are up here. I think this is the overlay. Oh, we've only got one unlocked anyway, so we've activated the layer.
Services are needed to the same degree everywhere in town.
Yeah, so we got rings here. It says what we got to do is building stops in residential area, business district, industrial district. But just to show I don't know if it will let. The way that the overlay works is green. I mean, in some ways it follows the normal convention, especially if you play City Skylines. Yellow is industry, blue is commercial, green is residential. So that's the normal convention. And what we got to do now is build a. Well, we got to follow the rules of the game. So put one in there, one in there, and one in there.
Make sure your coaches don't miss any stops.
Yeah, I'm just going to put an extra couple in. Whoops. Oops. Wait. Okay, the game wants us. We better stick with the tutorial then. The game's getting a bit. What I really should need to do is put in a link there, there. Because at the moment, what we got is like a one-way system.
Build a depot where the horses can be hitched up and the coaches can wait.
Okay. I mean, we could edit the line and put this on, but we'll stay with the game. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Issue must be connected. I think we'll put the depot. Oh, trying to get in a decent position so I can see what I'm doing. I'll just put the depot here.
Just a few coaches with horses so that you can get started.
Right, we've got to buy 3 coaches. Passenger here. Of course, what we can do now is just type in the number of vehicles we need. Buy. And then, of course, we click name here. And we can just allocate you to line 2.
Great. The first passengers are already waiting.
Now, one thing you do need to be aware of is that when you put a stop like this, the wagons, when they get to the end, they will go up and turn around.
The Enterprise reports a beast is up to no good in the area.
Okay.
According to eyewitnesses, it's leaped from tree to tree, was at least 10 feet tall, had a shaggy black pelt, and enormous feet. Now, ask the reporter what it's all about. The reporter, a certain Mr. Clemens, has revealed his source to you. An old good-for-nothing by the name of Sam Hawkins. He's supposed to be in the saloon in Virginia City. Could be it means buying him a couple of shots of hard liquor before he comes up with the truth.
Right, so we're going to go here. I must admit, I really did enjoy doing the actual campaign missions. I mean, a lot of players skip them, but I think it's quite fun actually to do it. We've got to find the pub. I think, is it this one? No, it's not it. It's over this one. So
the good man was happy to provide information. The monster got a few feet taller with each whiskey you bought him.
okay.
Word has it that it gobbles up whole cows Picks the remains out of its teeth with a wagon tongue. Our informer thinks it's hanging around near the Ponderosa Ranch, if he's not mistaken.
Okay, let's just click on that.
Old Cartwright and his son didn't take too kindly to your visit to the Ponderosa Ranch. Apparently, you're not the first to be hot on the monster's heels. The rancher claims that dozens laid siege to their land, but just when he was about to run them off, they hurried away towards Lake Tahoe with a paper hot off the presses in there, where not too long ago there was nothing more than a dreary two-bit town. A magnificent little city now flourishes, thanks to your transportation services.
Find the next clue. We'll
even call it the miracle of Carson City.
Okay, we're just going to finish off this.
Try their luck there. The Territorial Enterprise report.
Wonders of Carson City. We've lost track now. What have we got to do here? Where's Carson City here? What have we got to do? Get into the passenger business. Okay.
Make sure that the rest of the world is finally connected to Carson City.
Okay, we got to... Okay, we're going to connect up Carson City now, which means we're going to put a passenger line in here. And we got 107 million. It's not exactly that we're short of cash. Just make sure we need a that's a passenger station. Or just rotate this round. When we could go for a two passenger, no, we'll keep it simple. We'll just go for a single passenger line. It's not a question of just dropping it in there. So you see the yellow building just above where it says buildings. What you've got to do is see the little blue line that's just appeared. That's very important. If you don't put the blue line in, the station isn't connected to your infrastructure. And the fact that the small building is highlighted in yellow, what that means is that we're going to destroy that building and it's going to cost us money. So we need to put that there. I think we got a station the other end. Let me just see. Yeah, we got a station the other end. So we're going to, I think we're just going to have to lay a single track. Oops. And we're just going to lay a single track out across the... Now, this comes back to what I was saying earlier. I know it's not relevant because we're playing with old trains, but you can. But if you, whoops, if you actually come in here, you've got to click the little blue tick. What you've got to do is try and follow. See the terrain there. When you change terrain, you lose speed. I don't know if we can get round here. Maybe, yeah, we can. If we curve out round like that. And then if we just run straight through here. Yeah, can we get... It's just spent 74,000.
Buy a train arrangement that brings people from all over the world to Carson City.
Yeah, we need a depot first, don't we? Yeah, we need a depot. I suppose we could just shove a depot in just here. Buildings, depot. Whoops. Got to get used to turning things round. Put you there. Of course, this is not the most min-max of things, but quite fun doing it. Yeah, we got the connection via passenger train. We need, what was it? We need 3 passenger cars, so what's going on? Better. We need to buy a vehicle. We need a steam train. That's all we've got, so we'll add a steam train. And we need 3 of these. So, oops, nope. 1, 2, 3. Nearly made the mistakes here and went down there for that. Because if I'd clicked there, I wouldn't have bought that. I would have bought the engine.
Time to inaugurate the line from Reno to Carson City, the town built on silver. There's firewood up in Glenbrook that'll get the steam engines in the silver works puffing real nice. But watch out that you don't cross paths with the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa Ranch. They're not the kind of folks to tangle with.
This is the bonus mission, so we'll just accept that.
You barely got away from the Cartwright boys. Now get a respectable load of logs down to the valley as fast as possible before the ranchers come back again.
Got to build the rail line first. Oh, I can see I'm gonna need to spend more time practicing this, and then so we've now created the line. And if we, where's the vehicle manager? I think it's train 2, line 3.
We're off and running. Everyone is dead set on riding your beautiful railroad.
See what I was getting at, guys, is you get this. I think you can filter for vehicles, but see where it says line 2, line 1, 2, 3. This is where this game can get very confusing very quickly. And this is the reason why I was saying that renaming your lines is very important in this game. So what we've got to do is transmit 20 passengers. I'm assuming that the train's just going to do it. So it's deliver logs to the ranch for timber supply. Okay. Ponderosa Ranch is here somewhere. That's Virginia City. Oh, there's the Ponderosa Ranch. I assume we got somewhere to drop off the rocks here, because that's the furniture maker there and the log camp. So I'm assuming that what we've got to do is put a collection point up here. The road collection point, truck station. Okay. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, hopefully you'll be able to see this. Can we get this? The trick is to get your connection so that it shortens the route. So you don't want to put it up here. What you want to do is put it here. So if we put you there, and I think we got a depot here. Yeah, we built a depot here, and we can buy some vehicles, cargo vehicles. Well, I think we'll buy about 3 of those. And of course, what we're going to need to do is set up a route. Oops. Down to here, I think, isn't it? And good habit start there. Call it pond logs. And then if I can find the vehicle manager, where's the located to line 2? Okay. It might be easier just to do it this way. Assign you to pond logs. The other thing, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but as you add more and more goods and needs to each town, these towns will grow automatically. So we've got a commercial building that's grown out there. So if I show you the overlay again, we've got commercial building out here. So you've got you've got no control over your actual town. Well, you've got limited control is probably the polite way of saying it, because say for argument's sake, I don't know, will it let us build a road? I think what we can do is just pick the road through there like that, and then what that will do is allow that to work there. So you've got some control over the way your town will expand based on the way you plan your roads and connections, but you can't control what buildings are going to be built as well. So what we've got to do now is just move some people and deliver some logs. So we're just kind of going to be waiting now for this to run. So whoops, it helps if I actually get some speed going, because it's going to take a little while for so there's not much, so there isn't much what you can do in the way of actually creating demand. Well, you can only create demand by actually providing good transport. Is probably the best way to describe it. If you don't provide good transport, then you don't get the demand. And I don't think I can show it because we've only got the one overlay. But what you can do is see what all the demands are in the city. Let me just see. No, a lot of this is disabled because we're in mission 1. But down here, you've got additional information screens which can show you lines, where the goods are, where your sources are, and things here. So at the moment, we'll just have to look. You can see here, we've actually got quite a lot of logs piled up here, and we've got our trucks moving backwards and forwards. Let's deliver more logs. So this guy's probably, you're the wagon, aren't you? Yeah, he's got 4 logs on him. So we follow him. Wow. Ooh, wow. I must admit, I do like the graphics in this game. Yeah, the graphics are pretty awesome, actually. Seeing the people walking around.
Thanks to the supply, silver ore processing is running at full swing, which means your transport business too.
So we've now completed all the bonus missions, and all we're waiting for now is the passengers to be shipped backwards and forwards by the railway line. I mean, we could add another train, but I don't think it's really worth it, to be honest. Because we could try and find our train. There it is. How many passengers are you traveling? He's got 15 passengers on, so well, maybe we'll just follow the train for a little while. Because as soon as we got all the necessary passengers delivered, I think there's a way you can come back here. Well, you need a thumbnail anyway, so okay, let me just... Oh, look at that, guys. Just get him in position, and then we're run. We are. The train doth run. That. Okay, let's get out there. Okay. Now, in theory, when we arrive at the station, that should complete one direction, and then all we're going to have to do is carry some people back the other way. And that will be it. There we are. So, how many people have you loaded? Yeah, he's got 28 on now, so while we're running back, I'll just talk about the options for a series. So the question is, do you want me to work through all the different campaigns? It will take a little while, but some are quite short, some are quite long. Do you want me to have a go at the Ceausescu one to see whether I can actually finish it and see whether there's where the problems are with that? Because I have had people post comments saying that they're unable to finish it. And maybe the other one you want to see is a campaign on one of the 3 new maps. Or if you just want to go for it, we'll just choose a random map. I don't... Oh, there we are. We finished.
Cluster of pathetic shacks has become the swankiest town in the whole West.
Right.
Where you find the most...
There we are. So I've completed all 3 missions. I'm just going to continue playing.
Ladies of ill repute far and wide. Many an opportunity suggests itself to spend those silver dollars you so richly deserved. Your railroad business is the real gold mine in the state of Nevada.
So now he's finished talking. I'll just finish what I was saying. Yeah, so but if you want to see just a general mission with a reasonable difficulty, if I do a general mission, I'll probably start at about 1900. You can start earlier, but to be honest, I find the earlier starts like this one, it's 1867. The progress is just so slow, and if I do a series, I need to get through it relatively quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this slightly fun look at Transport Fever 2. Say any comments, suggestions, feel free to put it in the video description. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.